Hey guys, Tarke here, and I'm taking a break from my 5 a.m. walk to record a video because I thought the lighting was just excellent. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to title this video, and it's going to be something along the lines of PoE sucks sometimes, and that's okay. And this video is mostly for fellow content creators who are feeling a bit lost and a bit confused, but also Path of Exile players who currently love Path of Exile, and maybe Path of Exile players who've kind of fallen out of love a little bit with the game. So this is something that I've been slowly realizing over, making content for Path of Exile since 2013, but it's mostly been something which is really solidified with me with the issues I've had with my voice and having to take breaks from streaming and trying out, different kinds of content. And yeah, I'm going to try and approach this from an angle that's relevant for both players, viewers, and content creators. So obviously, this patch has been a bit of a messy one for a lot of people. I actually think that Expedition is one of the best leagues we've had in a long time, and it's just a real shame that it's been wrapped up in all of the complications of this league and the general apathy that's built up. I think it's a real shame, and I do hope that Expedition goes into the core game. But even if you're someone who's currently loving PoE right now, or you're someone who's kind of like feeling done with the game or whatever, there's nothing wrong, and I also highly encourage people to just play other games. When I was streaming Path of Exile every single day, because it was, my livelihood before I became a professional meteorologist and no longer became dependent on Path of Exile to pay the bills, I would often feel kind of trapped. And even when I was really enjoying playing Path of Exile, but sometimes I just wanted to play something else. And that trapped feeling, I think, is something that a lot of content creators are struggling with at the moment. I've seen a lot of fellow content creators making videos kind of talking about their frustrations with, like, they normally make build content and they feel like they can't make the guides anymore and they just don't really know what to do and they're just feeling kind of lost. I've had a lot of private conversations feeling kind of the same, and honestly, yes, you have to pay your bills at the end of the month, but just do what you find fun and make the content that you want to make and make the content that you enjoy watching. As long as you're making the content that you enjoy watching, then you've made a good video. It doesn't matter if anyone else thinks so. And likewise, for the people who just play Path of Exile just because it's a game they enjoy playing, if you're not really feeling a patch, there's nothing wrong with just being like, I'm going to sit out for a league or two. My health and relationship with PoE has improved so much since I've lost that need and that desire to be constantly, have to be playing 10 hours a day, have to be playing 16 hours a day. And in a weird way, like, the issues I've had with my voice, not being able to stream and having to experiment with different content, has actually made my, like, life as a content creator the happiest it's ever been. I have a much healthier balance now. And for anyone who's just maybe either feeling a bit weird with PoE or still loving Path of Exile, just play some other games. There are some really good games out there. Path of Exile will pretty much always be the best ARPG, and every 3 months new content comes out, and that's fine. Like, if you start up a new league and you play for a month and that's it, you come back next year, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, no one's going to be upset with you or disappointed in you if you play something else for a while. I've hate-played games for years before, and I know a lot of my friends hate-play games. I did that with League of Legends. I used to be really involved in the League of Legends scene back in the beta in Season 1 and Season 2, and I really enjoyed it for a bit, and then I kept playing that game for about a year afterwards, and I hated it. I would be frustrated thinking about the game. I'd play the game frustrated. I'd end my game sessions frustrated. And I had a year of spending most of my time playing something which wasn't actually bringing me any joy. And I feel like some Path of Exile players are in that camp as well. I've been in that situation with World of Warcraft. I have some of my closest friends are currently in a constant cycle of that with World of Warcraft. And it seems extra relevant now because there is a ex-World of Warcraft streamer currently playing Path of Exile called Preach. And I've been fortunate enough to meet Preach on a number of occasions at conventions he's held, because Preach has always been one of my favorite content creators. And I specifically remember, I can't remember if it was the first PreachCon or the second PreachCon, but it was just before the Legion expansion came out. And I was in the, full-time streaming Path of Exile every day mode, and I was loving PoE. But I kind of wanted to play the new WoW expansion for a bit. And I remember talking to him like, hey, have you ever struggled with this feeling? Because, I really love Path of Exile. I really enjoy making content for Path of Exile. But I feel a bit trapped. I just want to play WoW for a couple of months and just raid and hang out with my mates. And he said something to me which has really stuck with me, and this is something that hopefully will resonate with any content creator people watching this also. People watch you because of you. Now, obviously, if your main game is Path of Exile and suddenly you decide that you want to play something else completely different, you will have a drop in viewership. But that happens with anything. Like, you can have a drop of viewership because someone new comes along, or a patch doesn't land, or those people go and play other games. But your like core dedicated audience, the people that you really care about in your community, the people who are there like regardless of if you're making a bad video or a good video or like what the mood is, those people, they'll watch you regardless of what you do. And at the end of the day, like, your sanity is the most important thing. And yes, you need to be able to pay the bills, you need to pay for food and whatever, but stay sane. That's the main thing. And if you're fortunate enough to be in a position that you can get access to it, get therapy. Therapy's lit. I've been in therapy for a while now, and anyway, would recommend. Slight side tangent, but yeah, I don't know. Go on walks and stuff. Just speaking from my own personal experience, since I've taken a much more kind of like blasé approach to content creation, the games I play, and just playing what I enjoy playing, I've had a much healthier relationship with gaming in general. If you need any recommendations, if you're looking for some games to play, if you want to stay in the ARPG sphere, Titan Quest is excellent, and it has a really good mobile port, actually. I had a lot of fun playing Titan Quest last week when I got kind of bored with Ultimatum. Last Epoch is always great if you've never played it before. Battle Brothers is my favorite game just ever at the moment. Would highly recommend it. I've made a few videos about it before. Genesis Noir is a really interesting indie game, and another really fun indie narrative game, if you're into that sort of stuff, is Overboard. It's set on a cruise ship, and you play a wife who's just murdered her husband, and you need to convince all the other passengers that you didn't murder your husband. It's really fun. But yeah, so basically, you play games for the enjoyment of the games. If you're not having fun, don't force yourself. No one will be disappointed. And if you enjoy exercise, do some exercise. I've been having a lot of fun just really focusing in on my regimes and doing a lot of walking at the moment. I've always like been someone who randomly messes around. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to mess around with weights for a couple of months, and I kind of get bored of it or whatever. I'll mess around with doing pull-ups and resistance bands for a couple of months. But for the last few weeks, I've had a very set regimen of like, this is what I'm eating every day. I will walk for this many hours. I'll go for this many walks. I will do these exercises and these sets and reps and everything. And yeah, can really recommend, especially if like me, you were just trapped inside throughout all of lockdown, and you might have gained a little bit of the love handles, should we say. But yes, I'm Tarke. Have a good day. 5 a.m. morning vibes. Birds are in the air. And yeah, just have fun. Bye-bye.